मनोमेव प्रतिष्ठितम् आविर्मेयेदि वेदस्य स अनिस्तः सुदम्मे मा प्रहासि अनेन अधीतेन अहोरात्रान् सन्ददादि तद्वं वदिष्यामि हृदं वदिष्यामि सन्मावतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ओम शांति शांति शांति.
Okay, in fact, 2-3 questions are there. I thought I'll clarify the questions before we go ahead. He says, I had a couple of questions in our offering to Devas, Pitrus, etc. We are dependent on the blessings. So we perform the worship. However, are they dependent on our offerings as well? Not really. Yeah? Not really. So there is this thing that says, the presence and the grace of the devatas are strengthened when there is worship. Like you go to a forest area, there are a lot of Vana devatas present there. A blessing there, rains, etc. will be nice. You cut down all the trees. Vana devatas will depart. Even if you don't do anything else there after that, those devatas won't be present there. So that much effect will be there. That much effect will be there. But it is not that the devatas are dependent on our worship. But the more we worship, the more presence of the devatas are there, the more their grace comes in, and everything works out fine. That's why in the establishment of a temple, I had said, the Loka Vyavahara Pratishtha depends upon the devotion of the people. In Bombay, there is a classical temple like that. Very powerful temple. The energies are very powerful. It is completely Loka Vyavahara Pratishtha, not a Vaidika or a Tantrika Pratishtha. Babulnath. Yeah. I don't like to go there on Shivratri. I went there once and I said never again. Why? The offerings are there, everything, people are stamping on it. There's no this thing. There's no Maryada mentioned. But that temple is powerful because only of the presence of the Devata there, since the devotion of the people is strong. So in that way, you can say worship ensures the presence. But you can't say the Devatas are dependent on our worship. No, that part of it is not true. Okay? Then the next question. Anyone else has a doubt regarding this or no? Okay.
Swamiji, sorry.
Then
is it more of an Arthavada to?
Yeah, that Parasparam Bhavi and all that stuff. Yeah. Then Aitreya class, he had mentioned that Mayat means modification or saturation. So other than Annamaya, should you take the meaning of Mayat or as saturation? No. The modification goes from Annamaya to Anandamaya, leaving out Anandamaya. So Annamaya, definitely Mayat is a modification of Annam to form the body. Pranamaya again is a modification of Prana. Manomaya again is a modification of Vrittis, mind. Vijnanamaya again is modification of knowledge. Only in Anandamaya, it is saturation. The meaning of Mayat there is in terms of saturation, full of Ananda. Everywhere else it's modification. Okay? In Anandamaya Kusha, it is saturation because the Anandamaya Kusha is full of Ananda, saturated with the Ananda of the Atma. total cessation of thought, etc. Nothing to interfere. Therefore, Anandamaya Kosha is considered modification.
Swami, sorry.
Okay, then there was one more question.
Sorry, Swamiji.
Swamiji?
Yeah. What is that?
Sorry. Yeah, I wanted to ask you during, the Shraddh, we do those rituals for the
Pitras, yeah.
Pitras. Does it like help and
Yeah.
do they
If there has been anything lacking in their
accept-
karma, this will support and help. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Swami, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Anandamaya Kosha, once you say it is a Kosha, and you are talking about Priya, Moda, Pramoda. So don't think that once you say it is a Kosha, then the modification does come in, because then it doesn't become a Kosha. If it is a total saturation, because there is Ananda plus ignorance both.
Correct. There is Anandam in individual sense, but it's taken as Mayat still because they are degrees of saturation. Priya Moda Pramoda is not modification. They are degrees of how much Ananda you're experiencing. And if you say Ananda is being modified, then you're saying Brahman is being modified. Therefore, you have to say Mayat there is saturation. Prana modification is okay, Mano modification is okay, Vijnana modification is okay. But Ananda modification, are you saying Brahman is being modified? Because Anandam Brahmati.
But Swamiji, here Ananda is taken as Brahman or what? It is just.
Yeah.
It
See,
is
Anandam is always Brahman. Remember
no.
one
So
thing.
in the 5 koshas, Anandam is taken as Brahman. No, na.
It is. But then, because of ignorance, you make it a kosha. You make a kosha out of it. Is Annam not Brahman? Is Manas not Brahman?
No.
But when I limit my understanding to only this, then I make a kosha out of it. Remember, kosha is not a physical covering. Kosha is a point of error. That's why I make fun of all those drawings. First Anandamaya kosha, then Pranamaya kosha, then that gives you a wrong idea. A wrong idea goes into your mind subconsciously. They're all physical coverings. That's why in some of the classes when I took it live, I showed you all how the mind extends beyond the body, isn't it? How the prana extends beyond. Yeah. Then how can the body limit the prana? How can the body limit the mind? Yeah, I showed you all physical. So don't mistake it that way. Everything is Brahman. But if you take this as something independent, that is a mistake you're making. So at 5 levels, we are making a mistake. The moment we take Ananda as an experience, we are making a mistake. And the tragedy is people present moksha as an experience. They all are stuck in Anandamaya Kosha. Peaceful experience in meditation. Anandamaya Kosha or kya? In fact, we'll see in Mandukya Karika when we do, it is presented as one of the blocks to self-realization. They're taking Ananda as an experience. It's a block to self-realization. But there's a problem in Neo Vedanta. Everything has to be presented as an experience. Then they'll try to qualify their experience as something different, something unique, something special. Then I'll have to use their other expression. Ravade. Then you'll say, no, jnanam is enough. Then how do you get that jnanam? Then you'll bring some theory about it. Jnanam is pramana vichara or kya? Then they'll say, no, anubhavam should be there, no. Yeah. Definitely anubhava should be there. The problem is in our regional languages, anubhava means experience. Therefore, you bring that into, with your limited understanding of Sanskrit, you bring it in and say, anubhava, as experience. It is not. Even if you take a book like Tarka Logic, he says, anubhavastu dvida, twofold anubhavas a human being has. Okay? Smritir jnanam cha. One is smriti, knowledge of what you have known before. And the other is knowledge right now. That's what is called anubhava. Therefore, jnanam is called anubhava. Direct, immediate knowledge is called anubhava. Immediate cognition called anubhava. But that we put into vernacular it means experience. And therefore, here also you bring that reverse flow into Vedanta and say an experience. Doesn't work. See, some people, some teachers, they talked about it like that in public because the public may not know the nuances. Therefore, to inspire the masses, they might say certain things like that. You have to say, you have to understand that that was said only to inspire the masses, not meant for serious studies. Not meant for serious students. But if after 20 years of studying Vedanta, you're still holding to that public presentation, where have you progressed? It's like Swami Chinmanji telling that study group seva, nothing will happen. 20 years I've been meditating, nothing is happening, nothing will happen. Yeah. And instead of understanding that, he got upset about it. Why? 20 years I'm study group seva. Anyway.
I had one question. I think
Can you give it?
Aitreya Upanishad class that you, the last one, where you explained how the jiva enters. Now, in that you said that like a viable jiva or a jiva can start existing on its own by, say, 7th month or so. So I was just wondering, like, then what is it that happens at the time of conception? Because generally, medically at least, within 6 weeks, they are able to hear the heartbeat, and that's when they actually say that the conception is now viable, that it is stuck the uterine wall, and they say that, okay, so now this conception is actually likely to develop and all that. So what are they saying? And also, if the jiva is not present either in the sperm cell or in the egg of the mother, then how will it enter from outside? That's also, and also like in some other place, I think in some other Upanishad or somewhere, it says that the jiva actually comes down via the rain and then goes to a plant, and that plant, when it is consumed by a man, then it actually becomes the sperm cell, and then it enters the mother, and then that's how the jiva gets into birth as well, and it gets a birth. So is that theory different to this? Yes, I had all these questions. So first one is like,
yeah, good questions. Good questions. If you're looking at it purely logically, scientifically, especially scientifically, medical knowledge, there's nothing like Jiva. In medicine, there is nothing like Jiva. Everything is purely material. Therefore, whatever consciousness, etc., is an evolute of matter. Then naturally they'll say, at conception, there has to be life. We look at it slightly differently. I mean, we can go with that. It's not a problem. Go with that. Not an issue. Doesn't make any major change in your life. What we will say is that since that is the equipment for the jiva. After all, body is considered only an equipment. And since it's only an equipment, the mother's body gets the equipment ready. The equipment has to be developed sufficiently for a jiva to enter. That's why Simantam is said to be at the 7th month. Because Simantam, this Sima is this thing you're going through. So that's another way of looking at it. Now, I can take a completely reverse stand and say they said that because this is sociological argument if you want. A lot of abortions, etc., were taking place. Therefore, parents are grieving. To prevent that grief, the wise people said, no, Jiva is not entered. Only 7 months Jiva enters. So that you don't have to grieve for the loss of a child. Child is not yet there. This is a sociological argument given by evolution. Okay. What is the truth? God alone knows. One thing is true, the viability is not there that early. Okay. Though abortions and all are allowed up to the 4th month. Okay. But that's an arbitrary thing because in certain other cases, they are allowed later also. So those are purely sociological in its argument in the name of social justice. So one never knows for definite. You can never know. That is true. You go by the pramana or you go by this. Either way, your life is not going to change. Okay. Then the jiva is coming down by rain. If the jiva is present in every cell in the semen, it will be a problem. How many jivas are dying? Because there are millions of cells and only one of them will fertilize the ovum. So what happened to all the other jivas? Death before they are born. Huh? Death in an attempt to get born. Millions of them. Millions. Correct? So there is no justice there. There is no karma phalam there. See evidence there. That millions are to be just gone like that. And what happens? A youngster is ready to be a parent by the time is 14, 15. Every month, hundreds of sperms, millions of sperms are being lost. So all those jivas are lost. What if people are planning their families using some method of protection? All those jivas are gone. Logical it becomes. So what is said in that Upanishad is like the rain coming down, the jiva comes down. It's an example given for understanding sake. The jiva does not require a vehicle for interdimensional travel. Rain is of this earth only. Okay, that's just an example. Like this happens as also. That's it. So I'm fine, whatever people stick by, science or the Shastra, it works anyway in your life. Logically, yeah, it's Jiva should be there. But you can't say Jiva is only in one or the other. It becomes a bit difficult. Then what happens with test tube babies? So you'll open up a whole Pandora's box. So let us this thing anyway. Vedanta is not talking about how you are born. Vedanta is talking about that you are never born. So let the focus be there. Okay. So it's okay to take it either way. What works for you, fine. Okay. Then, yes. There was another question Jagdishan had asked. Nyeyam yattat pravikshyami yat nyatva amrutamashnute. Anadimat param brahma na sat tat na asat uchyate. Okay. Anadimat nyeyam yattat pravikshyami. I will tell you what is nyeyam. Yat nyatva, knowing which amrutamashnute. You are becoming immortal. Okay. You discover your immortality. For what is being presented is Brahman, the reality. Okay. What is that? Anadimat Param Brahma. That which is beginningless, Param Brahma. Okay. Na Sat, na Tat, Asat iti uchyate. It is not described as Sat or Asat. Now the doubt is in the second line. The second line requires clarification. If it is Brahman, it is pure consciousness. Then shouldn't it be pure Sattva? No. What way is Sattva connected with Brahman? Asangam Brahman. Asango hi ayam purushaha. Okay. Unless it refers to Ishvara who has Maya with him. No. What is being presented is the Brahman that you have to know. But he also says not Sat, not Asat. Teachers deliberately, this is Krishna at work. Okay? Master teacher at work. The master class. Generally, we take Sat, Asat, etc. as how?
From the standpoint of manifestation.
What is Sat? What broken? Asat. Therefore, Sat and Asat both are talked about in relative terms. Isn't it? What is Sat? Okay. My forehead is Sat, the horns are Asat. So Sat, Asat are talked in terms of relative terms here. Either relative in terms of time and space. Pot is there, pot broken, pot is not there. Asat. Or relative in terms of two substances. Head is there, Sat, horn, Asat. So, Krishna now dismisses both these ideas by saying it is not Sat nor Asat. Because in our mind, this is the thing that is stuck. The relativity of Sat and Asat. And Krishna says, Anadimat Param Brahman is not like that. It is not a relative existence that can come into existence and go out of existence. That becomes Mithya. Whereas Brahman is Satyam. It is not Asat or Sat like a combination. Sat, my head is there. Sat, the horns are there on a buffalo. Combination is Asat. This is how we use in the world. Because not there's no horn on my head. Somebody is seeing horns on my head, be careful. So there are times when I behave like as though I have horns. That's a different thing. Okay. Yeah. But it is not that type of Sat and Asat. That's why Anadimat, Param Brahman, absolute Brahman. Yeah. So it is not in that sense Sat and Asat. It is always there as Sat, Asat. Not a time-bound Sat. Therefore, it's not presented as your experiential Sat and Asat, your conceptual Sat and Asat. It is the Sat that is there behind all concepts. It is the Sat that is there behind all forms. Or Sat and Asat can be taken as with form, without form. Simple way of looking at it. Therefore, this is not like that. So that is what is meant by Krishna here. It has got nothing to do with Sattva, this, that, etc. Yeah. Is that clear, Jagdish?
Because it's anadi, so it has got both components, right? Ignorance is also there.
See, ignorance is there in the human mind about it anyway. That is why it is presented as Nyayam Brahman, something to be known.
Something known.
Yeah. But when it is presented as something to be known, there will be a tendency to take it as something finite. Because everything you know is other than what you are. The ignorance of the truth is a given to an entity. You're born with that. Doesn't go until you come to the pramana. Your various experiences of life can help bring you to the pramana. Okay, by giving you a certain sense of maturity. So once you come to the pramana, Krishna presents it that this is what you have to know. So really speaking, what it is the content of the known and the knower both. I am trying to know Brahman. What is it? I'm trying to know myself. So it is presented as Nyayam because there is ignorance. It can't be presented as Jnatam Brahman. Then whatever idea he has of Brahman, you think that is correct. Maybe Ishvara, it may be some experience, it may be something. That is correct. Which is can't be further away from the truth than that. Because a concept of Brahman is not Brahman. Or he may take Ishvara as Brahman, not understanding Ishvara completely. As Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Without that, he will understand Ishvara leaving out the person. Therefore, you will have all types of confusion. Therefore, it says Nyayam Brahma. But what is that? Anadimat Param Brahma. Na Sat, na Asat. Even though it is Nyayam, it cannot be put as Sat and Asat. Now, if at all there can be a confusion, the confusion can be from the definition of Maya. Mithya. What is the definition of Mithya? Sat Asadbhyam Anirvachaniyam. That which cannot be categorized as Sat or Asat. True. Mithya is neither Sat nor Asat. You cannot say it is absolutely real because subject to negation. You cannot say it is Asat because subject to your pramana, your observation, you can see it. It's available for your perception. Therefore, you can't say it is Asat. Subject to negation, therefore, you can't say it is Sat. But when Krishna is saying the truth is Sat and Asat, he is using similar definitions. Similar. But he is not taking Asat and Asat, Sat and Asat as categories. He is saying, what is your normal experience of Sat and Asat? Because all your experience of Sat is what? Finite. Has anybody experienced infinite Sat existence? It's not subject to experiencing anything. You can recognize that you are, but not more than that. Therefore, finite Sat, finite Asat. Conceptual Sat, conceptual Asat. So it's Anadimat, it's not like that. So that is the difference in the presentation. It's similar, but there's a big difference also.
Till one becomes a realized soul, it will continue to be like that, right?
Oh, anyone can, once you understand, you understand. No? Again, you're trying to equate it with some anubhava. Sometimes the theories we are exposed to, we tend to postpone our understanding. If I understand it right now here in this class, oh yeah, that's fine. Then the doubt will come. But you mean to say I'm a realized soul? No. I can't be like that. Why can't you be like that? Come on, why can't you be? You may have to work on some nishtha. That's okay. I can understand. Some more clarity, some more grounding in it. Okay, fine. Rishis did tapas for thousands of years, Baba. Where am I in front of them? My bhakti and respect for the rishis, instead of building up my self-esteem, it me down. I have seen two things happening in this type of respect. On one side, I find we are all Rishi Putras, I have my Gotra, unbroken lineage. Okay. Vasishta Gotra. One second, there's some problem here. Karthik, continue the recording and upload. So the problem will come in terms of having a pseudo self-esteem. Yeah, I'm Vishwamitra Kotara. Fine. All right. Vishwamitra was a great person. What are you? What are you? He was a mantra drashta. Do you chant a mantra regularly? So I have this pseudo self-esteem. It's not genuine self-esteem. It's an illusory self-esteem. Or the flip side. You're all great people, Baba. I am nothing. Rishis were great. I am nothing. That's the other part of it. That's a low self-esteem. Then what would be a healthy self-esteem be? What would be a healthy self-esteem?
They were great and we are great.
That's
They
pseudo
did it,
because you are
so
not
can
great
we.
anyway. Yeah, I belong to the Gotra of Vishwamitra. I stand in a good lineage. I should be worthy of it. I should make myself worthy of it. So I will have my learning. I will have my this. My ancestors were great. I will be worthy of them. That will be a healthy self-esteem. But we swing from one extreme to the other extreme without really making it work. Big problem. That's why we will postpone. Either way, we will postpone our realization. One by saying I'm great without being great and without doing anything. I remember someone came to meet me. So they wanted to do namaskar. So looking at east-west, no, namaskaram has to be done. I said, Rama, this is fine. This direction is fine. What is your guru? He is not one third about east-west. Hey, Baba, this is my house. I know where east-west is. All that he knows about a tradition is east-west direction to do namaskar. And he's being judgmental of a Vedanta Acharya because I said, this is fine. This is fine because I know what east-west is. My place. All the directions are very clear for me. And those directions are clear because of my other work, not because of my religious work. So are you seeing what happens? This type of pseudo thinking comes in again. We postpone. Then when we are exposed to the knowledge, either because of our arrogance we don't learn, or because of our low feeling about ourselves, we postpone our realization. Both are a problem. Both are a problem. You can't postpone it. If they could get it in their lifetime, why can't you get it in your lifetime? They were great people. Be worthy of their greatness. Be worthy of it. Develop yourself. Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet. Gitaya. Lift yourself by yourself. Lift yourself. Urdhvam haret. Na Atmanam Avasade. Don't look down upon yourself. Here, Atmanam is not Sachidananda Atma or something. It's just you, the personality. Why are you looking down upon? So, to steer clear of a pseudo self-esteem, which is just arrogance, etc., manifesting as that, or a low self-esteem, steer clear of both, you have balance. You have balance in the whole thing. That's what will work. So, no postponement. Yeah. I can get an insight like this. I got it. I may have to work on the clarity of it upwards. I may have to work on nuances. I may have to work on further understanding of things. That's all okay. That's all okay. We'll do all that. But yeah, get an insight. Why should you wait for another 10 lifetimes to get the knowledge? Not necessarily. This lifetime is good enough. So any further questions or clarifications on this? There were a lot of questions, so I said, let me handle all the questions first.
Swamiji.
Yeah.
See, in the 9th chapter, when Bhagavan says that, I am the one who brings down the rain.
Yeah.
Okay. In that, this verse, he says, I am both Sat and Asat.
Yeah.
Here, this example, what you said, he says, I am neither Sat nor Asat.
There he says, I am both Sat and Asat.
I am both Sat and Asat. So, is it because it is Ishvara's standpoint?
No, you can talk about it from either standpoint. I am Sat and Asat means what? I am form and formless. Both
Formless.
I am. Yeah. Ishvara also you can talk about. Same way. There Sat and Asat means form and formless.
Formless.
So I am both.
Or should we take it as para and apara prakriti in one way?
Not necessarily. Why complicate it when simple thing is straightforward available? सीधा सीधा बात होता है. Why complicate? You can. But if you say para prakriti, apara prakriti, in what way are you personalizing it? See, it's important. In our search for technicalities and scholarship, don't lose sight of the fact it is you that we are talking about. It has to come down to that first person singular, I. That can't be lost sight of in any Vedanta teaching or learning. Otherwise, you'll say, Brahman ka para prakriti like that, apara prakriti like this. That is pure Brahman. This is Ishvara. Where are you in all that? Where are you? Somewhere I must be there. He is talking about me. I am both Sat and Asat means what? Manifest, unmanifest. Form, formless. I am both. From me alone, everything comes.
So
that I consciousness always has to come down to that. Always has to come down to that. Otherwise, I'll become scholarly, all right, with all the terminology you take. But I miss myself in the process. That's why if you look at all the teachers or limited teachers also, they were available. Ramana never let you fall from that vision. He always pointed I first. I. Who's asking that question? Who's this thing? Who's that? I. Don't lose sight of that I. Because that's the important thing, no? Finally, what am I studying? Why did I start the study? Because of my sense of finitude. But the thing is, many of us didn't start like that. Many of us didn't come to Vedanta discerning the problem of moksha. It didn't start as a personal thing. Even for me, it started as a curiosity. As an intellectual curiosity, it started for most of us. I also want to know something about our culture. I want to know something about our heritage. This is how it starts for all of us. Therefore, it started as a mere intellectual exercise. I was knowing something about our heritage, our culture, etc. So we never translated it to my issue, it takes time for it to become a value-based study. And the value is my personal freedom. My personal freedom from my sense of limitation is the value behind it. Otherwise, it's valueless Vedanta. That's why I gave you the example of the professor, head of the Department of Philosophy in one of the very, very prestigious setups here. Very well known for his philosophy department. Years ago, this was. Nita Ben is not there. It was at Nita Ben's house. After a memorial lecture in honor of her son. After the lecture, we were there for dinner at her place. So this man was saying also like that, truth is like that, truth is like that. And I'm dressed as a sadhu, so naturally he's trying to pull me into the conversation, and I was keeping away. So finally he said, Swamiji, what do you think? I said, it is fine, you have said all this is fine. What is it that you commit to? You presented half a dozen different theories. What is it that you commit yourself to? What is the truth according to you? The truth must be, I'm smiling and waiting. What do you think? At that time, the lady came and announced dinner. This is called being saved by the bell. I let it be. My intention was not to put him in a tough spot. My intention was to raise the seeker in, if possible. May not be possible. So after a year, I met him in the same place again, same occasion. Exactly 1 year. He comes up and tells me, Swamiji, after my last conversation, you remember? I said, yeah. I find it very difficult to teach. I don't know what the truth is. You have made me ineffectual. I said, good. Your real study start now. Because now it is personal for you. It is no more a subject matter. Your real study begins now. How do I go about it? I said, find a teacher. After that, I lost touch with him. I don't know where he is, what he is. He retired from the college. I hope he found a teacher. It will be good for him to do. Because he was a scholarly man. Yeah, that is Nishchayatmaka Buddhi. That's correct. You have been very definite about what the goal is about. And of course, intermediary goals in between that you may have. The ultimate goal is this, it has to be very, very clear. That's why they don't talk about karma yoga as priority based. No? How are you making it personal? It's all this. Then Vedanta works. Others will say, I studied Vedanta for so many years. But what? What happened? No, nothing is happening. Nothing is meant to happen. Like Swami Chinmayanji, nothing is meant to happen. Because all that has to happen has happened. You just have to recognize it. I think today clarified a lot of doubts, a lot of this thing that came up. Okay. And take a break now. You won't have 2 classes. Next Friday, we are all reporting at the camp, and this time we'll be having our introductory session. To the ashram and things like that. They have a small thing. We'll be having that. And the Friday after that, the camp is in full flow. So no class for 2 Fridays. So we will meet on the Friday. That will be March 28th. 14th and 21st, we will not have class. We will meet on 28th of March for this class. Okay. Good place to stop. Home. Yeah, someone has raised that.
Yes, Swamiji. Swamiji, just before we take a break for these 2 weeks, just let me know that during the tough spots of the time, challenging circumstances of the life, what should be one's fallback to come back to the knowledge? Because I always wonder what should be my fall. Why I did not remember that I am above this, I am that. And whenever there is some difficult circumstances, and when I remember that, it gives me a feeling of peace, and it settles me. But at that immediate, not to react, but to just first think about this, what fallback should one have?
Okay, so until you know the truth, the fallback option is Ishvara and Karma Yoga. Ishvara Jnanam and Karma Yoga, Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, Prasada Buddhi, that is a good fallback option to have. Plus, whatever understanding you have, then with that calmer mind you have because of Prasada Buddhi and this, you will be able to bring whatever knowledge you have into your day-to-day life. But the fallback option is Ishvara and Karma Yoga. Because you can't suddenly start saying, I am Brahman, therefore nothing of this should affect me. Then you're taking the teaching and making it a should and shouldn't. And that's what the teaching is about. So the fallback option is always Ishvara and Karma Yoga.
So this is our, I suppose, before break assignment.
Yeah, break.
Let us try.
Those are coming for many of them are coming for the camp. So they will have a continuous immersive experience, 1 week.
Where is this camp, Swamiji? I was not aware about it.
Rishikesh. You joined late. By that time it was already full.
Yeah. Okay, maybe next time.
Next camp you can
come. Depends on Ish. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you so much.